I have enough offers in my business. In fact, probably more than enough. I've got lead magnets, I've got webinars, I've got a newsletter, I've got various paid products. There's a ton of PDFs that I have from the past that are all stacking up there. And for a long time, I thought building and producing and making all of these things was a business. But actually, it's just a cupboard of stuff that isn't really connected and isn't really working in bringing business to me in a structured way. Now, I've changed all of that since I've been very, very clear about what that process looks like. So, in today's video, I'm going to explain what offers I've built, what products I've built, what's out there, how it looked like before, which was a total jumbled, like craziness of all different ideas that I'd had and thought, these will be brilliant, this is going to change the world, to how it is now, where there is a very, very specific process that I want people to go through in order to get to know about me and my product and my main servicing offer. The business part of all of this production and creation only really starts when one thing that you've built leads to the next thing, that leads to the next thing, and eventually to working with you. So let me walk you through some of my receipts in terms of what I've built. So I've got my OfferShark, which is a AI agent build process where people can go to a website, put in their offer or their offer page, and the OfferShark will use all of my criteria to grade and give feedback on that offer and basically give them a result that they can go and implement. I'm going to have to look down at my phone here. I've also got my LinkedIn profile and content audit tool, which is an automatic tool which will tell you where your profile is not really working as it should and how to improve it and what to make better there. I've got my newsletter. I make various paid $100 webinars, and I've got my core offer, which is now being developed, which I'll give you a sneak preview. It's going to be called the Impossible to Ignore offer, and that will be my core offer. Now, none of these things are necessarily bad. In fact, you do need all of these things, and they are still part of what I'm doing today. But the mistake I made is the fact that they all existed is a business or a system, and it's simply not. It's a lot of stuff for people to go through. But where are they going? Like, what's the process once they finish this lead magnet? You might get an email address, they might go on your newsletter. But if none of it's connected to an end goal, which I had a lot of these things before I connected to them together, then it's not going to make any difference. It's not a business, right? So what would happen is someone would download a lead magnet, or someone would join my newsletter and get a couple of emails, or they buy a product, or they pay for my services, or join my school community. But there was no shared destination for all of those people to go to. And I basically was just producing all of this stuff, but nothing was really leading to a sustainable and compoundable business. I was repeatedly creating all of this value and giving value away, but none of it was ever compounding into momentum because there was no process behind it. It's to lead them through your process to understand whether or not you're a right fit for them. And I tell you what, it also gets rid of the people you don't want to work with either, which is great. And before, I used to understand an ascension funnel of something where you've heard this phrase, right? People's wallets are open, they're more likely to spend more money. It shouldn't be like that, right? Yes, you offer those things, but it's about getting people to go through and understand more about you and get more trust, and not use pressure in that ascension funnel to try and make them do it right now. You know, you're just making them aware of the things that are available. And if they buy them, great. And if they don't, then you'll be able to offer them again in the future when they've got more confidence in what you offer. So why does my system now work? Well, it's all linked together. So the LinkedIn audit tool and the OfferShark, they give people enough trust and confidence to get a micro result that means they'll give me their email address. And then once I have their email address, they get my welcome sequence, which tells them even more about who I am, what I'm about, what it's going to be like being in there, what kind of insights I'm going to share, whether or not it will be random talking about me wearing a wig or whatever else. And then once they get through that, I have my offer process. So every couple of weeks, there's an offer. It can be something that's one of my lower ticket. It might be a webinar on something I'm working on right there and then because I have a belief that things should be current, or it could be my core offer. And through that process, I'm not just pinging them sales emails every day. I'm sharing my world and my worldview with them so that they get an understanding of who I am, what I'm about, and what I believe in. That's the most important thing, because as knowledge is free, they need to understand why they want to work with me, why I get them. knowledge is free now and people can just go and find all of it on AI. So the reason they're going to choose to work with you is because they've been through this process of seeing your thinking and you've been brave enough to share what you think and believe with them. And each step of this should show the need for the next step of the process without artificially creating something and saying, hey, here's like a tiny little bit of the information, now fuck you, you need to pay me more for the next bit. That's not what it's about. They should be getting true value for the money they put in fact more than at each step of this process. And that should be the philosophy. A lot of experts already have all of the pieces they need, right? They just need to connect it all together. They don't need another funnel or another this or another course or whatever else. They just need to connect these pieces together. And then once it's connected, just imagine this, right? Somebody sees an idea that you post that they like. They see a short video. Maybe for me, they see one of my comedy videos. Then they go into my email system because they've used a tool that's given them an insight or something of value. Then they see something for pocket change that means they can buy something and actually get an even bigger result. Then maybe they want to spend 2 hours on a call from me and eventually they want me to come into their business and build it for them or build it with them. That is how it should be, right? That's the process that people should be following. So before you build another offer, and I know I am building this $5 offer this week, so there is an irony in it, but just think about, where does this go in my process? What step does this fill in my existing funnel? Like, where is the gap that this is filling? And if you can't find one, don't make it, right? If it's not feeding the machine, if it's not something that's feeding into this funnel and this process, don't waste your time with it. Make sure that it does fit in and have a look at everything you've got and make sure it fits. And if it doesn't, just get rid of it, make it clearer. Make sure that customer journey is really, really obvious and people can follow through it. And you'll notice a massive change in your results very, very quickly without needing to go viral or pay thousands of dollars for ads. If you want to see how this works for me, you can see my OfferShark tool in the description. There's also a link to my newsletter. And don't forget, I'm going to be making a video every single day this month. So if you want to see those, give me a sub, leave a comment, and I'll get back to every single one of you.